I know that Easter's coming up. I just don't know when it is. Okay, so like last time, we're going straight down the list. For the most part. There's a couple of things I cleaned out of order. We gotta work on the tunnel ceilings. With Easter coming up, though, is everybody excited for it? Do you have any family traditions that you do? Is there anything special you do for Easter? I don't think me and the hubs do anything. I will most likely be live on Egg Day. I know a lot of families that would get everybody together and have like a buffet style family dinner, or rather it would be like a late lunch, early dinner, kind of similar to Thanksgiving. But I used to be friends with someone whose family would do the late lunch and they would do the early morning Easter service, and they would also do the later evening, like evening Easter service at their church. I always thought that was cool. She told me that it was not cool. She said, and I quote, it was not for her. And I said, oh. As far as Easter traditions, let's see. I can't say we didn't really do much when I was a kid. I remember there were a couple of years where my parents tried to get together with the local neighborhood people, the peasants of the neighborhood. We were all peasants. But they would get together and they would all plan something. But they only did that like 1 or 2 years. It wasn't like a standing thing that they did all the time. Which is fair. Like, one of the neighborhoods we did it in, there was a grand total of like, I think 20 kids. And all the parents did it like, one person would buy all the eggs, the moms would stay up late and stuff all the eggs, and then, or no, the dads would stay up and stuff the eggs. The moms would like watch movies with us or like entertain us so we were out of the way. And then the next morning, while the dads were making breakfast, the moms were hiding the eggs. And they agreed to do it that way because the moms thought it was more fair for them, because a lot of them were shorter, so they were more likely to put them at a child level that they could get. One year the dads were like sticking the eggs up in trees, and I remember one of the 5-year-olds was like, I could climb that tree. No, you can't. Get down. I haven't been egg hunting, which makes sense since I'm 230 years old. Like, I shouldn't be egg hunting. Unless it's for, like, discount eggs at the grocery store. And I don't have kids, so there's no reason for me to do the Easter. I could always volunteer, though. I bet, like, churches need volunteers for the Easter egg hunts and hiding everything. I could see getting involved in that. I've always wanted to do the dyeing of the Easter eggs, though. Like, where you get regular eggs and apparently you dye them and then you like color on them and stuff. I never did that. I think that's really cool. I've done egg art, but not quite the same thing. Kind of wondering if are there any Easter specific movies outside of Rise of the Guardians, which I would argue is an Easter movie. It's an all holiday movie, but it's mostly Easter. I'm sure Hallmark has a couple. Oh, let me do this seam. This seam's all dirty. I'm gonna have to like walk it like this. Yeah, woo! First one's done. How many are there? 4. Okay. Trying to make sure the Spotify actually plays because nobody told me last time that I didn't have the Spotify going through. So it was just a bunch of like quiet, which was a little unnerving. Like I could hear it, but y'all couldn't. Which going back and editing that was very, very interesting. Back onto the topic of Easter, though, because I had completely forgot Easter was even around the corner. Now I feel like a doof, because I picked other topics to talk about. We'll talk about them, too. Back to the topic of Easter. What is something y'all do for Easter dinner? Oh, I got a message on the screen. Hold on. The subway remained closed for another 30 years until community funding allowed for its renovation. It ran until 1984, when the main tunnel's extensive repointing finally failed, thankfully in something. What I was gonna ask before the game text messaged me was, what is something that you guys do for Easter dinner that's like really cool? So I do have one Easter dinner in mind. We once did Easter dinner with my dad's mom and his grandma, so my great-grandmother. And they did like we're southern. We're southern. I'm going to start with that just so I don't get too much judgment here. But they had like this, it was almost like it was a deviled egg, right? It had bacon bits mixed into the, like, for lack of other word, the dressing, like the inside of the deviled egg, I guess. And they had it coated in crumbs and deep fried it. First deviled egg I've ever tried. And definitely probably the weirdest one. I don't know how many of y'all like deviled eggs? Because they're kind of like a hit or miss, right? Like, you can have a good deviled egg, and then you could just have, like, really bad ones. Because, I mean, they're eggs. They kind of can go both ways. Let's get this clean. We're gonna get the subway looking so brand new. It's not even gonna be a problem. They're gonna have so many people lined up to go places. Oh. For Easter holiday, I usually do a ham. I'll do like a spiral ham, maybe like a mac and cheese casserole. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do this year. What with the base didn't have the cheese aisle open. If they have it open, maybe I'll stop and get the supplies I need to make homemade mac and cheese casserole. And they have we like to get these protein noodles. They're basic. They taste exactly like the other noodles. They're not like gluten-free or anything. So like if you have gluten problems, you probably still wouldn't be able to eat these. So, but they have protein noodles that are by Borelli or uh yeah, I think it's Borelli. Barelli. Barilla. They have protein pasta, which we've been getting and enjoying. But I think they do. I don't usually buy them because I have no use for them, but I think they do protein elbow noodles. I could do a mac and cheese casserole that's got high protein. Add some cottage cheese to it too. Ooh. I'd be down for that. I'd be down to clown. It'd be good. I was about to say I don't know where the seam is. That's the seam right there. Excellent. But yeah, maybe a ham. Or a ham, possibly. Mac and cheese casserole would be good. We've been enjoying this these deep fried green beans. I think that would pair really well with it. Something simple. It's just the two of us. So I like to make sure that even when we do special occasions, it's either something that we could see ourselves eating for large amounts of times, or a large amount of time rather, or something that I can freeze and keep for later. So like when I make my chili, when I make my Christmas chili, because I'm fancy like that, I last year was the first time I had done it, but I froze like half of the leftovers we had. And we ate Christmas chili for like, I would say a whole week, because I make it in the crock pot and let it sit and cook all day, so it's all nice and good. But I put that with different sides, so we usually put our chili on top of rice. But in that week, I also did it with protein noodles. And then I froze half of it because I didn't want it to go bad, but I know that we were kind of like getting to the end of wanting to eat it. And it's a lot of beans. That's a lot of beans to be eating for a good amount of time. Anyway, so I froze it, and when I defrosted it and recooked it the following time, I made chili mac with it. Oh, that was so good. So good. So worth it. I didn't make chili mac with elbow noodles, though. I think I did the bow tie noodles. This is how you guys find out I'm a pasta snob. I like different pastas. Different shapes, taste different. Like the Tricare rotini. Yep. Tricare rotini has a different taste. But there's a tricolor rotini, however it's said, that we do like Italian seasoning or as Italian dressing and some Parmesan on. That's pretty good. Shit, I could see us just doing tuna salad pasta for Easter. Go out of my way to do it. Make biscuits so we can be fancy. Okay, let's see. I kind of missed some stuff here in the middle. Oh, I missed a good bit of stuff here. Yeah, woo, let's go! I'll start at that end. This game has no right being as cozy as it is. Kinda does. Like I was outside earlier thinking about getting myself a power washer. Power wash my house or something. Or rather, my fence. My fence is a white fence, and it gets all mucky and dirty with the rain. I'd want to power wash that. Do a live stream, IRL, me power washing my house and in my fence. I could even get an overlay, make it look like I'm actually playing Power Wash Sim. That would be ridiculous. It'd be funny though. And today, folks, we're gonna be cleaning a yellow. What color is my house? Is my house yellow? I think my house is yellow. Yikes, I have no idea. Today we're gonna be coloring what we assumed was, or we'll be cleaning what we assumed was a yellow house, but is actually pink. Imagine the years of grime on the house have made it yellow. From pink. That would be a crazy color change for sure. I don't know, think about it. I really don't know what color my house is though. I think it's yellow. Which is actually kind of funny because I just now noticed that most of the houses that I've lived in were blue. Because I said yellow house and then I was like, huh, I wonder if I've had any other yellow houses. But I've lived in blue houses. So the earliest house I can remember was blue for sure. And then the house after that was military, so it was brick. It was all exposed brick. Which I know the lower part of my front is brick on this house. And then I know a house or two later was white because it was a trailer. And then we had a blue house that we lived in for like 9 years. And then they moved to a double wide trailer that was blue. And then when I lived with my godparents, their house was blue too. And it's like, wow, I just kind of have a type, don't I? Oh wait, that said I only have one tunnel. Oh, floor. This one. This one's not done? I thought I washed this one. Oh. Okay, now it's done. Oh, we're in the final bits too. Okay. We gotta do the tunnel walls, which are these. There's so much grime in here. Hey Barge, welcome in. Yes, get your daily nugget. If you haven't had food today, this is your reminder. Get your daily nugget, because it's food. But actually get yourself some food. Because you need nutrients to survive. Hi Fox, hi Barge. Welcome in. How are you? How have you been? The topic on the floor right now is, I was talking about Easter and fun Easter traditions. tired? What do you mean you're tired? Why are you tired? Did you just get home from work? Did you just wake up from a nap? That's usually when I'm the most tired. Is me waking up from a nap. I'm just like, where am I? Who are you? Who am I? Wait, is there a seam? It says there's 8 walls. Oh, there is a seam. Oh, I don't see the seam. I took about an hour nap since I got off work at 6 a.m. Oh, yeah. Good time to take a nap. Some people are still sleeping at that time. Totally not talking about myself. AKA definitely talking about myself. Oh, that whole top bar is its own bar. It says there's 8, so I'm guessing it's like 1, 2, and then 2 parts up there. Get a good power nap in. That's not bad. An hour for a nap isn't bad either. I bet that was nice. Are you still working graveyard shift with your job? I would assume so, because you said 6 a.m., but I have been wrong before. Damn it, I ran into a post? Jerk. This game is so satisfying. There's actually another game that's coming out that looks like House Flipper. I only say looks like because I haven't played House Flipper yet. That's literally the game that's going to replace this one. And there's a game called Haunted House Renovation. It comes out in 2 days. I might be getting it. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping to, because it does look like it's up my alley. But you renovate haunted houses and you have to, like, I don't know if the evil spirits can get you or anything, but there are evil spirits in the houses. So that's pretty exciting. It looks kind of like House Flipper, though. Also, maybe new job incoming? TBA? Is it related to the same job you have? Like, this one's just kind of like an upgrade? Is this one better? Or is this in addition to? That's what I should ask. No more medical? As in, no, there's more medical, or you're getting away from the medical field? Because you work for a pharmaceutical company, right? I can remember some things. I'm so cool. I'm pretty sure it's pharmaceuticals. Which is a big word for Elmo, by the way. Getting away from medicine, going to make peanut butter. Hold on. I'm processing that. What do you mean? Please clarify. What's happening here? What do you mean? What do you mean? That's such a wild jump. Like, am I wrong? That's a pretty wild jump. Yeah, you know, I worked in medical for a while. Oh yeah, what do you do now? I make peanut butter. Why? We have a gift planet. We have a gift plant closer to home. Oh, Jif? Yeah, Jif. So it would be away from medical, but it would also be less travel for you. The only thing that would make that statement better, that you're going to be going to make peanut butter, is if you revealed to me that you've secretly been a dog this whole time, and this is your dream job. Because dogs love peanut butter. I haven't met too many dogs that don't. Are you a dog? Saves me 40 miles a day. Holy jeez. Okay. Well then, definitely a good thing. You're gonna be saving on gas. Now, back to the first question. Are you a dog? Are you running those 40 miles to work and back? Because if you're a dog, working pharmaceuticals is definitely probably not the way to go. But if you're a dog and you're about to go work at a peanut butter factory, I'm just saying, pretty good life you got. That's funny. That's actually, I don't think I've ever known anybody to work at a peanut butter company making peanut butter. They do not appreciate taste testing at current job. Wait a second. So you're selling pharmaceuticals, medicine, and they're not letting you taste it before you give it out? How are you supposed to know this helps with erectile dysfunction? How do you know this is going to help this woman with her explosive lava butt diarrhea if you don't try it first? Right? Am I wrong? You have to test the product, make sure it works. You gotta taste test it. You know, who knows if the cough syrup actually tastes like cherry? Just newsflash, it doesn't. I don't know what cherries they're flavoring it with, but it's like the assiest cherries I've ever had. Don't do that. Ew. I'm just saying, that's disgusting. Taste test the product before you send it out. Goodness. It's disgusting. Pee pee poo poo. Gross. 0 out of 10 would I recommend that for you. But your phrasing makes me wonder, do you get to taste test all of that peanut butter? Are you applying to be a taste tester at a peanut butter factory? You're not creating it. You're eating it. You are a dog. You are a dog. You get to taste test peanut butter. You're like, I need a little bit more, another little taste-a-rooney, make sure the other dogs, I mean, human people beings, enjoy this. Give me a little smackaroony, a little bit more peanut butter, please, sir. I just want to know who approved it, like, yep, that's what cherry tastes like. You know what? Someone that hates cherries. Somebody that was like, you know how funny this would be if we make the cough syrup? We gaslight people into thinking it tastes like cherries, but then we brand it by saying if it doesn't taste like cherries, you know you're sick. And that way everybody keeps buying it because, like, it's magic sauce. It says it, if it doesn't taste like cherries, you're sick. You know, like, what went through their head? to think that tasted like cherries. It's it's you know, in closeness, it's nowhere near a cherry. I feel like I've tasted plastic that tastes like the cherry flavor they use in NyQuil. I think I've tasted plastic that tastes more like cherry than cherry flavored NyQuil. Don't come at me. Not a sponsor. I don't want to be a sponsor of NyQuil, actually. You can keep your sponsorship there. I didn't eat cherries for most of my childhood because I thought they would taste like cough syrup. Oh my god, no! No! What do you mean? I feel bad for you. Someone lied to you. Someone lied to you. If it counts for anything, there's some candies that I didn't eat because my mom told me they tasted like cough syrup. Which is funny because as an adult, I can look back and go, wait a second, how does chocolate taste like cherry cough syrup? But you know, parents do that. They're like, oh, you can't, you don't want this because it tastes like this other bad thing you don't like, you know? And they're evil for doing that. But also, like, I get it. I was like, this is terrible. Why would I want to eat a fruit that tastes like... Exactly. I'm 100% on the same page as you. If I had never tried a cherry before that moment, and cherry cough syrup was my, like, what I'm comparing the taste of cherry against, absolutely. I would not eat cherries. I'd be like, yeah, no, you can eat as much butts as you want, because I'm not eating that. Why would they make a... Why would there be a fruit that tastes like a butt? Oh, goodness. Absolutely disgusting. And you know that guy got fired. But now they're like too far, they're too deep in this lie that they can't do anything about it. They're like, oh, he left, but, you know, he patented it and he sold it to us or whatever. And now they're like, if we change the recipe, will it change any of the medical mumbo jumbo that we don't understand because we're just the marketing team? And they're like, we'll just keep it. So either he got fired or this is like the biggest joke that the cough syrup factory has ever pulled on us. Like, why flavor it at all if it's still gonna taste like ass? Why lie to us and gaslight us into thinking it's gonna have a pleasant taste if we're gonna be, like, sickened by the burnt plastic flavor, right? Because it doesn't even taste like somebody closed their eyes very tightly and dreamed about cherries while they made it. No, this is like they... Maybe the people who flavored it didn't know what cherries tasted like. Maybe it was somebody that was allergic to cherries who was unlucky enough to get the job, but they knew this was their last strike, so they just guessed. Oh my god! Imagine that. They're like, oh, well, I'll ask my coworker. And then the coworker's like, yeah, they have a tart, but it's like a sweet taste. Very pleasant on the tongue. It's red, which affects the flavor somehow. And they're just like taking notes, like trying not to lose their job because they're allergic to cherry and they can't eat it or they'll die. And then they came out with this flavor and they're like, I present to you cherry cough syrup. And the big man in the chair's like, to who? Oh, but it works though, sir. I guess you get to keep your job this time, Johnson. Get out of my sight. Don't ever let her flavor things cherry again. Or we're gonna get more of this. Disgusting. And clearly we can get good cherry flavor. Cherry Dr. Pepper is good. Just put that cherry into cough syrup. That's what I'm saying. But have you ever noticed there's some things other than, like, for instance, we're talking about cherry cough syrup, right? There's other things that don't taste like they should. Like orange Metamucil? That doesn't taste like oranges. Why would you lie to me? That tastes like you're trying to cover up the fact that it feels like you're eating kind of jello. Black licorice. I'm pretty sure they were spot on with that. Tastes just like dirt. Very spicy and angry dirt. That's what black licorice tastes like. They've spot on with the flavor though. Whoever the team behind black licorice is, they need to be behind making cherry flavored stuff. Thank you for the hydrate, Mustard. Hey, Mustard. How did your weekend go? So for context, Mustard celebrated 300 followers on Twitch. Congratulations, still, by the way. That's incredible. And they did some celebratory streams this weekend. I was gonna play with them on Saturday, and then I realized that I had misread the time that they were starting. And I was like, oh my god. And then I don't know what time you guys were doing it yesterday, but I did the movie night, and then I cooked dinner and kind of wore myself out weed whacking the yard. But I did pull up your stream at one point. No, did you stream yesterday? I'm thinking of Saturday, I think. I definitely pulled it up on Saturday. I think I went to bed early yesterday, actually. But anyway, how did those games go? You were gonna play a game called Store Wars, where, from what I could see, you're running a store, and it's like a competitive store game, and you can like go throw garbage or go like sabotage the other team. I didn't play it. I did have it downloaded, and then I wasn't able to play. Sad soup. And I think you guys were playing Repo later that evening, right? I'm hoping the celebration went well. Excuse you. Excuse me. Excuse all of us. I actually forgot to do that hydrate. Hold on. I picked up my chocolate milk. I set it down because I was going to drink some of my flavored water. Hold on. Hello, my sweet wife. I was showing everybody my Twitter, and I typed your name in and found you in Shadow. So if you get a random friend request, it is my name. It's pretty obvious. But I had it pulled up on stream while I was like looking through my feed. Just FYI. How are you? Are you feeling any better? I know that you weren't feeling well, and I think it wasn't it last week you had lost part of your voice, or you weren't feeling well last week, I remember. I'm hoping you got better. I forgot to ask that earlier when I messaged you. You know, for it being a closed-off subway, I don't know how the grime got, like, all the way in these like, corners, these nooks and crevices. Crooks and cavices, maybe. I don't know. I was really sick last week, had a bad cough yesterday, but it's pretty much gone now. Okay. But you're good to, like, talk and stuff still? Like, I know that sounds weird the way I said it. Sometimes when I'm feeling ill, coughing will be, like, triggered by me talking too much. Which is why I asked. I always have to have, like, a pocket full of, throat lozenges. Pop them like... pop them like they're candy. I remember when I was a volunteer at the library, I wasn't sick, it was allergies. And I remember one of the kid groups I was reading to that day told the librarian, like the actual librarian, I was just a volunteer librarian or a librarian's assistant. And I remember he told her, I don't like her. She smells like really weird mints. I don't like it. And I had been like just mouthful of like mint flavored lozenges, and I was like, no, come back, at least I have the freshest breath, please still love me. But there was something blooming and I couldn't breathe. Like anytime somebody thought about talking to me, I would start coughing. It was bad. I wore a mask though, but they could still smell my cough drops. They were like, ew, get away from me. Made me very upset. Yeah, I'm fine. I still streamed last night despite it being, like your throat being sore or your cough. Despite being sick. Yeah, I was in a couple of your streams. Maybe I didn't realize you were sick. I don't know. I was in a couple of your streams last week. I was actually, fun story. I don't remember which one it was, but I was in one of your streams. And I know it was last week because it was right after I played Horizon. Did I play Horizon Zero Dawn and then come and talk to you? I think it was the day that I played Horizon Zero Dawn. I was in your stream talking to you a bit, and I was like laying in bed like I usually do, and I thought I had plugged my phone into the cord, which is like along my windowsill, and my phone fell between the bed and the wall, but I was so tired I thought I had caught it. And I was like, yeah, nailed it. So a little while later, there was like a ruckus in the house. And I woke up and I was like looking around. And all I hear is a voice from under my bed and my phone pleading, just pleading with me to put it on the charger because it was dying. It's like, oh no. Like it was literally at like 2%. I put it on my charger and it shut itself down. I was like, no. I almost made it. It was funny though. So we have tunnels, uplights. What's an uplight? Oh, maybe that's an uplight. Oh, that is an uplight. So we have to do all the, like, little lights that are on the wall. I was like, we're at 98%. I don't know where. Oh, let me tell you guys a little bit about my day. I started that sentence. I started that sentence. That's what I chose to do. That was a choice. I started playing a game called Penny Larceny. It's a visual novel game, right? Or I don't know if it's virtual or visual. I'm pretty sure it's visual. So it's a lot of me reading out loud, right? I only got through the tutorial chapter, or caper as they call them, in the game. I only got through the tutorial section. Oh my god. I love it. I just love the character already. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm choosing to voice her a certain way, like happy-go-lucky. But I love her. A little bit about the game. Not about the game, but like certain aspects of the game. They ask you to put your name in. Like, you're Penny Larceny. That's your mask name, so that's your bad guy name, right? Because you're trying to be a supervillain. And so you have a cover name. So you have, like, Superman has Clark Kent. You know, you have a cover name. And they give you a drop-down list of different names you can choose from. And so I chose Seymour Butts. And I was like, I feel immature today, but I'm loving it. It was funny. And so they also have sections where you don't have to... You can have swearing on, or you can have it turned off. And I have it turned to silly mode. So instead of it being curse words like shit and fuck and stuff, it's curse words that you would find in A Good Place, if you've ever seen that show. Highly recommend it. So instead of saying shit, she says shirt. At some point, I can't remember what she said, but it was something, it was supposed to be something fucking, like one word, but instead it was forking, and I was like, God, this is gonna be hilarious. I love it when they take the opportunity to do something silly like that. Like, I'm not offended by cursing, obviously, but they had the silly mode like that, and I was like, oh, if you think I'm not gonna use that mode, you should think again, you know? So I found that very refreshing. It was cute. I'm gonna play it like chapter or caper by caper. So hopefully I'll be putting videos of that out soon. TM. Oh, I need the yellow one. Ooh. We're almost done with the subway. The subway's almost clean. But yeah, I started playing that. I played a little bit of War Thunder. Not Thunder. I played a little bit of Warhammer. I got confused because my husband just loaded into War Thunder to play with his college buddies. I was like, oh yeah, I was not playing that. I should try to give that another go. I'm not bad at it. I get anxious. It's not a game that I'm, like, known for playing. But, you know, I could try to give it another try. Another thing that I did today, I got the audio figured out for my capture card. So we can play, before me and Levy moved, we played The Last of Us, and I didn't get to play The Last of Us Chapter 2. So, with the fact that Season 2 is coming out of The Last of Us, I have to get HBO again. I gotta rewatch it. I'm so excited. But with Season 2 about to come out, I was thinking about doing a replay of the game. I don't know if I'm going to stream it or not, because we did just do a replay. Wait, did we play it last year? Oh, you know what? I think we did play it last year. It's the only game that I played on console last year, I think, because I was still using Streamlabs. That's what it was. I didn't know how to change the audio specifically in OBS because it was like a bit different. And I couldn't figure it out. So we will be doing a replay at some point. I'm pretty excited about it though. Look at how dirty that is. We finished it! Made pretty good time though. We only had like 23% left. Your work has been signed off. Congratulations. Oh, what do you mean my work has been signed off?